And we are back. Maybe, yes, no. Another game of Entropy TD. We saw the lobby was only 6 players. Usually we tend to. The game isn't as popular as I would like it to be, so maybe you can help us out with that. Tell your friends, your family, whatever. But usually, because the game takes a little while to get all 9 people into the lobby, usually as a host, I will wait quite a while trying to get as many as possible. And the fact, that the games take so long, it is not completely unheard of to go well over an hour for one particular game. So let's take a look at the map. Oh, look at all this nice pre-made maze area right into a teepee. But unfortunately, the minerals are on the other side. So let's take a look. 1 checkpoint, so we're going to go start to 1 to finish. So job 1 is to get 1 off of start. You are allowed to most, so you notice I covered 3/4 of point 1 there. Totally allowable. So let's see. If I can't get that mineral spot. Yeah, I think it might. Yeah, I'll get it once. And then it's going to shoot. Where on earth is TP1 out? Way over there. Alright, so let's go back. 6% map. 6% speed, 45 supplies, so we're going to have some towers to work with. 5 lings, so we're not going to be splashy, probably. Antisocial is going to be spread way outs. Crackling, scoutling, 2 cracklings. So we're going to have some issues here. Take a look, income is basically free. So the income is going to pay me 3 times 1. Which is 3 versus hitting this, which is only going to pay me 1 because it always rounds down, so the income's a better investment. So that's why I sold off. Remember, everything sells for 100%. So now I'm going to try and rebuild. Oops, what I had. Not doing well. All right. So now I'm going to get any extra. The tower price is cheap too, 5. So I've made decent maze there. I mean, that's a lot of time for basically no towers invested because all this loot is just free maze. Oh, let's take a look. We got 80-30 and a nice open area to maze in. So, but it'd be hard to. So the maze is probably going to go up, maze up here, and then come down, hit the mineral, hit the TP, come back and get 1 this way. That would be logical, the way that we're going to end up doing it. All right, let's take a look. But what that means, ooh, there's actually a second TP. Sorry, I'm seeing TP2 here. Where on earth is it? Way the heck over there. Oh, Lord. So the question becomes, how on earth are you going to include that in your maze? The answer is, I have no earthly idea at this point. So if you ever watch anybody who's playing Entropy TD, who really knows what they're doing, they will do a lot of buying and selling and remazing throughout the entire game. So just because you build one way, do not assume you are stuck with that particular maze forever, because use the fact that everything sells for a lot. So this wave, now I'm going to get 2 hits on the mineral. You know, if this particular wave doesn't use TPs. And right here is something else I found. See that? The hidden 70? It's pretty small. So it's actually 70 with an overlapping 30. And it's a matter of how many towers can you get on. Looks like you can get at least 5 of them there. So sometimes tower positioning will make a difference. Sometimes it's kind of small, a little bit smaller than this, to where if you do 2 this way, but if you kind of take quarters, imagine that circle's a little bit smaller and you do quarters, you can, all you need is the center of the tower. Like this one here would be a good example. See, I would actually be able to get 4 towers in there. If it was a little bit smaller, like that ring would cut off the corner here, I could still get 4 of them in, but if I centered it, then I would only get 2. So you have to pay attention, even at the earliest possible stages of the game, about your tower placement. You can't just throw them anywhere. You've got to make sure they're in position to allow you to build as many strong towers as possible. So let's see, 6%. So typically that would be a 200 income max. There is a fairly big damage zone, but it's not ridiculous. Sometimes you have like overlapping 100s, and then you would not income. So I think I'm actually going to take that second one here. Let's take a look. M3 is doing damage and actually killing stuff. So I got to think about what he's doing there and not let him get too far out ahead. If I'm incoming and get down to about 50 lives, I'm not panicking yet. So I think I'm going to get away with that second income. I do, as I'm talking here, I'm generating an idea for this. Let's take a look at it. So like last game, supply is 45. So I want to maze up here. I might be zigging, or it might be coming in here, shooting, sending them out this way and back around. So imagine the maze comes in this way and then has to go around a loop. So the tower doesn't need to hit everything. It only usually needs to hit one thing. That's how most of the towers are going to work. I'm also noticing that this tower pushes that line right across the minerals. So that tower is unnecessary. So don't use unnecessary towers. Save money, save supply. But what I was trying to say is there is a cap of 45 supply. There's a lot of room here to be, imagine I can come in here, go out, down, come in here, up, down, and kind of zig and zag in and out of range constantly. There's a lot of maze potential here, even in this closed off corner of the map, just because it's so open over here. TP2, if I make a wall this way and stretch it all the way to the rocks, build one here, so before they go to finish, they're going to walk around and hit it, which means my TP2 out needs to be connected to 1. So I would sell this tower, build a little loop out here to enclose it. And it doesn't look like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 towers, but it's going to get you a whole extra pass. But hopefully you're seeing I got to 10. This is going to be, another 10 to 15. That's 25 of my 45 supply. That is not good. That's too much. So, especially in a 6%, you're going to need some maze here. So, this is key. Your supply depot is 39. That's pretty cheap. Anything less than 60 means the winner's probably going to have a lot of them at the end game stage. So, this extension of the map, picking up TP2, is probably going to be something I do after I have at least one tower completely maxed out, because it's better to extend your maze, especially if it's going to pick up a whole pass. So imagine my 45 gets this area mazed. I can stretch it out here. I can pick up the TP, and now I've stretched all this out. I've gained a whole extra run through the maze. So getting obliterated here as far as damage, but that's fine. So I need to just start making some. Let's check out the range. So, is there free? You're always looking to use the rocks as much as you can as free maze. So that was almost spaced out as if they were begging you to do it. In most situations, zigzags are better than straights. So I'm going to make them run in a zigzag. I don't like that, so I'm going to actually change my mind on that. Ooh, I can't make it back. I'm thinking. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that when they go to finish, that I get to shoot them again. And I'm not being quite able to do it. So let me throw a 1 by 1 there just for a second. So now you notice they're going to come through here, hit the TP, have to run all that again. So I'm going to stretch out this way. Just buying the diagonals longer than straight than the 2 would have been here. It's probably going to take my guys out of range though, so that wasn't as imagine there was more lanes, then that would be important. We can also check your range, so that first range is going to be taken by the winner probably the second one too, and then you'll probably stop because $300-400 that's hard to, but that would be after you've stretched your maze and all that stuff. Mineralings is a wave that kind of counters your income. If I've been incoming, my tower isn't strong enough to kill them for the bonus on kills. So you kind of, I'm not going to say shot myself in the foot, but I've limited what I can do there. If I'm noticing my damages, I'm about half everybody else. Not super concerned at this point yet. This is where most of my towers are going to be doing damage, so this should not be there. This should be way over here. So if I look, this tower has only shot 2 times. These are all 7. Up here is probably 10. Oh, they're 20. So my main tower is 31 because it has some speed and because it has so much range to it, where none of these towers are on that purple range area. So what I'm going to do is build my supply depots, the ones I have to get to my 45 supply over here, where they should be. It's a very, very, very small change, but maybe it makes a difference in a mineraling kill. I don't know. Also, I don't like using the 1x1. It's too expensive. I just need to be able to hit the corner. So when they come in here, I'm going to gain some shooting time. That's all I wanted. Remember how we talked about that's too far? So that's not doing me any good either. I'm going to pinch them down. Let me zoom in a little bit. That tower versus that tower is a little bit better. I can do the same thing here. Oops. So notice that they're constant. If you can make them turn, it is just a little bit longer. So I'm going to stretch out this way. I do want to pick up the full use of the TP though. So let's kind of go this way, see what happens. Now I get quite a bit of supply in here. So again, I'm going to bend that line by, oops, come on, work with me here. I'm not so sure it's going to be a long game. You got some pretty powerful towers. So those guys start out slow, and every time you kill them, they start running a little bit faster. And the guy was complaining about the pace of the game. That wave is going to be taking forever, especially because there's so much free. Hitting the minerals. Then it's important to hit the TP after. So imagine I hit the TP and then came back and got the minerals, I'd lose a pass and would lose 10 minerals. So this particular one, I have it because I mazed through the top and then down instead of from the bottom up. It's just a slight change, but it makes that pass easier. Getting these bendy lines in here, these zigzags, a little bit better. I might stretch this out and maybe kind of include this. Well, how far can my tower shoot? Yeah, not that far. So that's about as good as I can make it. So I've stretched this out about as far as I can, and notice they've got to run all the way through all of it to get back to the finish. I start thinking about a tower here. So HD is probably my winningest tower. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Bounce is going to be good because it has that 2.1, and there's always going to be 2 guys to hit. Antisocial is going to be a little tricky, so maybe not. Charge Charge is going to be a little sketchy because they're going to come down here and he has to run all of that maze length. I mean, I can break the rock to speed it up if I needed to, but that's a lot of length. That sounds like the charge tower is going to cool off and start shooting really slow. So I'm not sure I want to do that. Right now I'm leaning toward the bounce tower. Well, I can do angle. Point it to the right, and you can point it, up, down, left, or right. So if I do 80, the angle, it would be a line here. Anything on this side of the line would be shot. So I could stretch my maze this way where it's not shooting, and then just bring it back. So imagine there's like a snake. The head goes out of range, but the tail is still in range, is to the right of this line, so I could shoot it. And as the head of the snake comes back, the tail would just be clearing. So this is what I'm talking about. Imagine these 4 guys here is the pack, is what I'm referring to as the snake. So I don't need to hit all 4. I just need to keep one of them to the right of that line. So this has a 2.1, and it has a range of 8 versus the bounce, which is only a range of 7. So there is a reason to take angle here. And I think that's what I've talked myself into doing. So I'm starting to lose a lot of lives. So on angle, you got to make sure you point it the correct direction. So I got to go this way. I wish maybe a tower would have been backed up a little bit, because I can't get anything over here right now. But my second, third, fourth tower will be. Notice that I'm shooting a lot farther now. That wave, man, I can't believe I was that bad. Not sure what that was about. I mean, I'm down income, I get that, but remember, those little zigzags. If I look at my range now, I could probably shoot a little bit better. So now it might be important to shoot them, to make them run all the way out. So let's take a look at the snake. I was talking about the snake concept. So watch in this area. Here comes the head. I can shoot the head. He goes away. I can still shoot the tail, and the head doesn't quite make it back. But remember, this wave starts out running kind of slow. Same thing there. As they speed up, that'll cure itself. On the next wave, there's a big gap. The antisocial aspect of the antisocial lings means they're spaced out. So, that line from head to tail might be from, here to here. Let's say from finish to the corner here. On the antisocial, it's going to be from here way down here somewhere is the gap between the 5. I think it's like maybe 2. No, it looks like more than that. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then my 4th one would be here, and I still have a 5th one. So I'm going to guess it's about 3 tower width space between them. I could be wrong on that. I'm not liking the fact that down here I'm not shooting. I'm seeing that this rock could be blown up for 202. That might be something late game to where I maze this way and then use this little gap. I could also change my tower to pointing down, but then I would have to redo all this. So I might have chosen the wrong tower here. It might have been bounce is the way to go, but bounce, I guess we're going to find out on this next wave exactly how bad bounce would have been. So remember, like I was saying, this wave is spaced out a little bit more. So I got to make sure I use all my supply. I'm going to stretch this out a lot more, specifically for that wave. And if I have to shorten it back up for the next wave, not a problem. It's okay to remaze. And here, I'm just going to make sure they don't go behind me. See if I can get them in the slow for as long as possible. Am I out of supply? Yep. That's no good. And notice that line's going behind me. No, don't go behind me. And sometimes they don't always follow the stupid line. Sometimes they make up their own way, and like instead of the first time it went behind my tower and the other times it went in front. There's no logical reason for that. But sometimes the game chooses to laugh at you, essentially. I don't know what to tell you. So let's watch the snake, the head of the snake, tail of the snake concept. There's the head. So let's get my range going. You can't really see the range. Notice that there's almost always something here. Even when there's 2 guys way out here and somebody... Video card is struggling. Hopefully it's not me. Check our damage. Ooh, we're close to the leader. I'm guessing nobody else took the second income, so I just got to hang in there. So, like I said, below 50 is when I start kind of getting concerned. 30 is way lower than I should have. So I think I did go too far. That second income was too early. So I got to hang in for check. So everybody's kind of that 7 to 8,000 with the exception of Jess. I see the name Jess quite frequently. So he's not a complete novice. He does know some of the stuff. And this particular maze isn't going to be too tricky as far as any of the concepts used. So look at, he's done doing damage, so I do have a maze advantage on. Okay, and my tower is probably behind, so I'm starting to think I'm okay. Fingers crossed type thing. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to use that snake analogy again. So I'm going to send them down this way. I'm going to change that a little bit. Come this way. Because my tower can shoot way up there anyways. So I can push them way out there. It doesn't matter. When they cross this line, I'm not going to shoot anymore though. So what I'm going to do is come up above this no build zone here and push them all the way as far over as I can get them. So I'm contemplating selling here just to push them a little bit farther, or taking a supply depot. Actually, I'm going to take this one. Just push them a little bit farther to make sure. I don't want them running behind my tower. That'll shut off before I want it to. And if I lose a little bit of time, I can't shoot here because I'm angle. Bounce would have been shooting there, so I'm thinking bounce might have been better. I don't know. He definitely gets out. Angmo isn't doing much more damage than I am. Jess got off to a huge start, though. So I wonder where sometimes based on the timing, when they start doing damage, you get an idea of where they built and how they built. I haven't been watching enough to read into that. Some people are really, really, really good at reading what other people are doing based on score, kills, the timing of the kills. I'm not that good at it. I call it the guess the tower minigame. What tower is that person using? Sometimes it's obvious and sometimes you're just kind of guessing. Okay, so take a look. Damage. I've almost caught Angmo, but the problem is Jess is trying to kill me here. Jess is going to be a problem. Although her maze is shorter. I'm not sure if they're done or not. Hope they're done. I got enough minerals by hitting that 1.5 where I can take another speed. I will speed cap, max out next wave. The problem is, will I live to use that? I am noticing that this needs to be more bendy. We talked about the diagonals. So every time you can make them turn, it's a slight gain. So I'm going to make them turn a little bit more. I can put, I can include this loop here for free. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These two towers would get used, so I can actually, but it would ruin this TP a little bit. I'm not going to do that. So let's take a look. 55. I lost 6 kills, but I'm about speed cap, so I think I'm okay. Still a little worried that third income. I'm going to keep looking at it as something, hey, should I take that? But it's way too expensive right now. I'm going to be depot mazing before that. I'm going to be buying the 2 ranges. The depot maze is going to pick up TP2. So I would sell some of this and curve this back. And I have to close that in like we talked about earlier. So there's a lot of long-term strategic thinking that has to go into playing this game well. And every game is so unique, which makes it so challenging and so interesting. And in my opinion, so much fun. So kind of watching that damage. So notice I've caught up with Angmo. Actually, a little bit ahead. It's hard to know exactly where his maze is at, though, as far as the timing of their maze. So notice I'm second place in damage. We're all kind of not doing anything there, which means to me we're all running the same bottom loop out of our tower, out of our killing tower's range. And on the way back, I'll hit the minerals and probably be able to buy another damage upgrade any second now. Just hit it. So you hit that. Occasionally, you can find one that's lower health. Let's imagine there's 20 of these guys running. Sometimes you can find one that's really low health that you can tell that you can micromanage your tower and say, hey, please kill that one to gain yourself a little bit of extra money. Okay, where are we at? So, gained on the leader a little bit, but lost to Jess. And something about the way Jess has built this game is scaring me as far as, whoa, Pollux. How on earth? I wonder if he sacrificed. Well, there's no way he's got TP2 already. Not maze like I do, anyways. If he built over here, then maybe it's possible. So I gotta keep an eye on that too. The next wave will give us an indication because everybody's gonna miss the TP anyways, because Scoutlings don't use it. But I'm starting to get to the point where I'm going to use all those supplies depots we were talking about. So I gotta start thinking of how that's gonna work. So I'm going to go here, get in there, loop this in with as few as I can, use the rocks as much as I can. So it'll probably be from, what is this corner, like 3? Well, I can go from here to here, and there would be 2. So that would save me 1 tower, which saves me almost 40 minerals. So the tower conservation plays a huge part in this game. I might need to think about remazing this particular wave to always keep something in range. That scout guy running and these guys going out of range is not ideal. Man, somebody is running slow. Oh, they did pretty good there. They got around this corner. Man, I hope I don't die. That'd be bad. It might be a video you never see if I die. Oh, it's looking really bad. Well, he's done, so I'm picking up kills again. Jeez. That's not good at all. Alright, so. Oh, what to do. I think I just need to extend here first. No, that's not going to do me anything. Where do I go? Man, that wave hurt. Let's just dump it all in here. Try and make sure I live. And then I'll stretch out for antisocial. So if you look at the Fire Tiger, he died. Discharge, interesting tower choice. And your discharge I wouldn't have taken just because that was unnecessary down there, but okay. Discharge would be a bad idea because your tire, the ability to stretch your maze with supply depots is going to be so big here that you're giving away a lot of kills, in my opinion. So that would be a reason not to do it in that particular wave. For antisocial, I'm going to loop in this one, and I think that's it. Sell and rebuild. So notice here, I can actually save a tower or 2. So I'm not as ideal as far as the spacing, but right now I'm crunched, and I'm going to on TP1 out. I'm going to make them run around, gaining even more length. The rock, whether I use the rock or not, didn't matter. But I do need to come in one more. So notice I've stretched out. Man, I'm not liking that. So the snake head and tail thing, this loop here would be too far on any wave that isn't antisocial. But being that we're playing antisocial, I'm having to go over max here because I'm so close to death. I'm not happy with myself here. I think it's that second income, maybe. I don't know. A little scared though. So let's watch head and tail. So there goes the head. As he gets out, the second one's almost in. So the tower isn't down for very long. And by the time the fifth one leaves this zone, the first one's coming back. So that should be pretty good, I would think. And I'm going to... You're allowed to sell mid-wave. You don't get your money back right away. But I don't care about the money. As long as I live, that's all I really need. And I'm going to put my maze back together, though. And they will still run the original maze that was there. So you want to be you want to be remazing mid-wave. So you notice I'm doing damage when nobody is. That's because I stretched my wave out a little bit. I've got to find a way to get to that TP though. That's going to make that will really save me if I can get there. And that's a pretty big if at the rate I'm going. Do I need to redo this? I think I might. So let's redo this a little bit. So I'm going to come. So come down. Shoot. I don't like that either. Let's not go as far. So what I'm seeing is when they exit this little loop I'm making, they're going to be behind my tower, and my tower's going to shut off or not be able to hit, which is not good. And I gained a few lives, but not many. So again, I don't want them to run behind, so I'm going to force them in front by having to spend towers. So now I do have my second ready to go. I think angle here will be okay too, and it'll be the range I need. So let's do that. Get to about 20 or so. I'm going to go 22 just to be goofy. Dump as much speed in there as I can. So notice, I think he already has the TP, so I've got to get that going. Probably should max this tower first and then get it. I think that was the plan from the beginning, if I remember talking about that. Is to get 2 towers, or at least the second one mostly going. Let's check the range on that second one. Oh, I can't quite reach. See that? So I'm going to have to take that first range up. Oh, not good. I'm so scared. Man, that's a lot of damage there, Josh. Whew. I can't afford to get TP2 in one wave. It's going to take 2 waves at 40 per tower. I don't think I make that much money in a wave. You know, this wave or the next wave might be the exception because of the mineralings. Ideally, these guys would space out a little bit better. Man, did Angamo kill me? Nope, almost though. I'm in trouble. Don't know what to do. Gotta have that range, otherwise my second tower isn't doing anything for way too long. Get on the second tower, please. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what I would do differently. So this stuff over here isn't really helping my second tower. It's fine for my first, I think, but the second one, the whole tail of the snake, head of the snake thing, I think it's just too far. So here I'm going to have to make sure that I get as much speed onto this tower as possible. Pray that it's enough to live. So notice I stopped doing damage. He's still doing damage. The timing of the TP is a little weird, so it might be a little misleading. I know what I'm going to do. Oh, it doesn't work. There's no hole there. Ooh, that is so close. That is so close. And I've struggled on that next wave. So I'm going to have to come up with a different plan of attack on it. And I think I have an idea. Good grief. Lagginess is killing me. No, no. Oh, I'm dead. So close. I mean, so had I been watching, there might have been one that I could say, hey, kill that one real quick. And what I was thinking of is coming down here, I can buy a whole bunch of supply depots and just kind of go back and forth. It isn't going to matter on any wave but the next one. The next one, that leader is going to have to run all this junk, while the pack is still up here and shooting killing zone. So I'm curious. I think Pollock's is going to win this game just because his maze length is finally caught up. So he has bounce and angle. So remember I was talking about getting 5 towers on that zone. He's got his all messed up. He can get, it looks like, only 3. So that's exactly what I was talking about earlier in the game. Notice his tower can actually hit everything the entire time if he were to hit V. I mean, he killed me, so right here's a mistake. That should be 3 towers, not 4. Imagine this one is slid over a half. This one would reach the rock. These ones here should be 1 right there, so that is 4 supply depots he's wasted. Remember how the line, depending on where his exit, he's exiting here. So imagine a line from there. Looks like he would miss the minerals. Let's go look. See ya. Pollux. He's got it already. See that? And I just couldn't afford to get there. What did he do? Oh my goodness, was that open the whole time? It is open up there. So you could save a couple towers by connecting to these. So would that be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 towers there? Yeah, it was close. Hey, that looks familiar, doesn't it? Kind of the same idea. He's entering here, so he can stretch out there. He's not using behind the tower as much as I would have. He broke this open. I was talking about breaking that open. But if they don't pick up that second TP, Pollux is going to win this game. Looks like everybody's got it except for Ma3, however you pronounce that. And he should have started a second tower ago. So this happens a lot. You're trying to rebuild your maze. So he was trying to get in this loop, messed it up, and that probably, not sure if it kills him. He was quite a bit ahead, but Pollux is going to have, I think this is his game to lose. HD, I don't think is the best tower. Maybe. I mean, it doesn't have the drawbacks of angle, but it's going to do less damage. And bounce on that next wave would be a problem, because the 2 anti-socials are designed not to be close enough for bounce to work. They have to be within looking to me. So Pollock's only has one income. So let's see if I can't find this area. Here is a mess. See if I can find some spots where he could have saved some money so I can show you. So he's got this zoned off. Look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 1 by 1. He's using 7 supply to close that off. If I come back, somebody else was using way too many. How many has this guy got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this tower should be here. This tower should be somewhere right here to close off the gap. This tower is unnecessary. Could have saved 40 minerals. Notice right here again. Well, these 3 would have to go there, there, and there, so it's kind of the same price. What else could you do? If you stretch this out, if you pulled this off the wall, you could go 1, 2, 3. So there's lots of spots where you could close this section here. You can close it off lots of different ways with 3 towers. I'm not seeing a better way of doing it. This here, that little loop is going to always be 3. So I think this is optimized down there for Jess. He's done a nice job there. The 3, he's not seeing the TP2, so that's going to kill him eventually. And he's wasting way too many towers. What has he got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's wasted 1. I think we counted 7 with Jess. And these guys, yeah, this is a mistake. Remember we said that should be slid over half. Let's see. These 3 right here, if they were built at an angle, the second one would be here, the third one would be here. So that would save him a second one. He's using his 3 a little differently, but it's still 3. So he's got 2 wasted in there. These 2, if you just pull this one and this one back a little bit, and you could close this off. This area he's not using anyways. So if he sells these 2 and just puts the tower here, that's 1 more savings. And the savings isn't the tower cost because he had to build all these supplies. So it's really a supply depot cost. So for Angmo, I've seen 3 different towers that he doesn't need. Let's watch his bounce. He's got a bounce. So right now, when they're doing that zigzag around, you see all that blue stuff bouncing around. That's bounce doing its thing. So when you're doing a loop like this, like a hairpin, you're going to be okay. But right now, when the head first comes into the zone and when the tail first comes into the zone, bounce is not going to work right. So Pollock's is, I think he's got this game pretty easily from the looks of things. HD seems to be working because it doesn't have the drawback. I'm sorry if I come across like an a-hole here analyzing, but I'm trying to show you the use of 1 by 1s I think is unnecessary by Jess. Remember, I forget what they cost, but 1 by 1s are far more expensive. And then if you don't like this one, you didn't have to use it all. The way he's got this maze, that one was necessary the way he has it. This one is not. You could have put a tower right there. So there's, if this is $30 versus $5, again, he's supply depot. So this tower really needs to be treated as a supply depot. So it's $45. I'm not sure if Pollock thinks he's won or what. Let's take a look. So he stretched way down here. Okay, if he blows this rock, imagine he can loop this in. Make him run all the way down, all the way back up. and it gets multiplied by 3 on the way to 1. Hitting the TP would be the second time, and then back to finish. Everything's going to get multiplied by 3 when you stretch out. Pollock still has not taken the second income. The 3 is just not taking the TP. So he's dead. I'm going to ask him. Did he not see it? Did he not think he was capable of it? I died a long time ago. You died. So we're down to Pollock's. And he's going to be able to get 4 towers on there. Well, he could push this one back. He's done it right. He's going to get all 5 eventually if he needs them. Looks like Jess still can get it, so he can push this one up a little bit. And it looks like he can get 2 more right there. So he's got his planned out correctly as well. So we got 2 incomes versus, I think, 1 still. He's got this is the Q, so +1 to all. Nobody's taken it. It was like 100 minerals, I want to say. He does have 2 ranges and 2 life buy downs. I probably would not have the life buy downs, but the 2 ranges are going to be helpful. So right now, Jess is probably, I mean, he's got the income, but he's down on range, so that's hurting him the biggest at the moment. But notice he is stretching down here that Pollock's is not, so that's an advantage for him. If you look at May's timing down here, he just hit 1. He's just hitting 1. So they're pretty close. Right now the difference is the 2 incomes versus the 2 ranges. We got HD. Everybody's using HD. Trying to think of what had I don't regret taking angle. I still think it's totally playable. And even though I died, but I'm still thinking it should be better. I wouldn't have had to take the range ups. I think he's probably got $400 up here invested in range, which is 10 supply depots. Potentially you could have turned it into 10 supply depots and really stretched that maze farther. The ability for HD to maze behind made it a lot better, I think. So I would have had to have like shoved him out of range, come back, shoved him out. You know, even if I come down, if I come back, as long as I get back over fairly quickly, I would have been okay. So I'm not sure. Pollock's just keep dumping into towers. If he keeps dumping into towers, it'll be interesting if this income can catch up. What do we got here? 3? Let's take check damage. So notice he's shifting to the second tower at about 50 damage. 1 by 1 is mistake. You don't want to use it if you don't have to. This could be brought down here to make that little zigzag just a little bit longer. Again, sorry if I come across like an a-hole for criticizing somebody else. Clearly I died. I screwed this game up. All these 1 by 1s, you don't use them if you don't have to. And I think it was avoidable in here. I mean, it might be a little bit less maze, but your ability to gain down here, I mean, he could run straight here, come back up, open this up with the rock break, and really stretch down. So because he isn't stretched out as far, I don't think. And those 2 extra ranges just got him. Oh, didn't quite get him killed. I don't think he can hit finish to get that 1 extra kill. Maybe one of these towers gets lucky. Nope. So So notice the damage is almost equal, but these two life, he's got 3 life buy downs now. So that's 9% less hit points. So let's just round it to 10. So right now, they would have 1, 2, 3, 4. So his only have, you take off 120, 1,100, give or take. So that's why the same damage did more kills. Or, yeah, the same damage did more kills because he's invested in those life buy downs, which I'm not a big believer in, especially at the price they were this game. But it appears to be working for him, so kind of hard to fuss at him. So out of range, and it's kind of hard to tell. So let's watch when everybody is done with 2 passes. You get the first pass and the second one. So he's done. He's almost the same amount of time, and he's gained 1 kill. So he is cutting it thin. Still on 1 income. I think he is winning wave damage, so that's kind of canceling out that 3rd income. Or the 2nd income, excuse me. Notice he's bought 2 lives. So he probably saw that the damage was equal, but he lost lives and went, wait a minute, what's going on? The explanation is he has bought wave lives. And Jess was smart enough to pay attention to that and see it. Ooh, was that a bad break? Sometimes with these guys, because they run so fast, it looks like only 3 of them survived. Versus this guy. It's kind of hard to tell. This cluster there, not quite sure how many is there. It looks like maybe all 3. Sometimes you'll have 1 or 2 miss the TP. So let's imagine all 5 are running. One of them misses the TP. He runs this way. The other 4 hit it. So you'll have this one guy. He might hit it on the way back, and then his timing will be all messed up compared to everybody else. Notice Jess is taking the angle there. I think that's smart. He's not going to be able to hit this, though. I think that's smart. I don't know. The income might be powering him on. He still has a lot of chances to extend out this way that he's not taking. He has chances to extend down this way that he's not taking. And it looks like he's just saying, all right, the way the life buy downs is going to get me home. I don't know why he's not starting another tower. I don't know what he's doing. So notice that Jess now has 4 towers, and he's very consistently switching to a new tower at about 50 damage. I think 50 was his goal, and that's a very solid idea here. The next tower is going to be just as good as the one you just built. Get it up, get it moving. Okay. Switch only after you have it. Max speed and damage at least equal to maybe as much as plus 10. Ooh, is this? It looks like this might be game. So now he's got. How did that happen though? Something about maybe the way that they're mazed gives him an advantage. I don't know. Or is it the angle not being optimized? I'm not sure what's going on. This will be interesting. So we'll see maybe when they get out of range and start heading toward TP2 here, where we're at. And yeah, I think we're looking at a good game here. So he's notice Polox is still doing damage. So I wonder if he has more range. Nope, he still only has the 2. So why is he doing so much more damage all of a sudden? I don't know. I'm not seeing it. But hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you learned something. And hope to see you in the next lobby. that game ended quick. Oh, shoot.